Nothing like coming home, changing channels to see what's on TV, and seeing all kinds of anime, with some being silly, others dark, and many with giant robots. Then years ago I came across a bizarre one, or should I say, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. It was after my brother convinced me to watch the anime. It looked cool and was trending in the anime community at the time. Unfortunately, part 1 of the anime moved fast and ended too quick. Part 1 left me wanting more, and a year later I started the manga and was amazed of how good it was. Never had I been so engaged in reading a manga. From the very beginning, the manga grabbed my attention, as there were scenes in chapter 1 that didn't appear in the anime. For example, the masked backstory in chapter 1, that, and as well as heartfelt moments with Irina and how he met Danny and Jonathan remembering his mother. I know many might disagree, but those moments added more to the character of Jonathan. They kept most of those moments, and now I know why he is so popular. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is unique as the story spans throughout generations, and the plot and genre change with every character arc. Many anime like Dragon Ball Z and Naruto have done the same. So what's the difference? It's because JoJo's story has been set up so the story can continue this type of storytelling, a bloodline of different family members in a larger story and rotating protagonists. For the most part, it does work, and every new JoJo arc has a new character in a new country in a different era, like the Victoria era or near World War II. The creator Araki is a genius, as he knows when the story is starting to slow down and the story starts becoming less engaging, he will not add more of the same. He will simply start ending the story arc. JoJo's storytelling is very creative in many ways. One of the major ones is the way the story adapts to a new generation of readers. You can see this in the writing and in the fashion. This is how a story like JoJo, that has been around since 1987 with 132 volumes, continues its popularity, always evolving. Much of the fashion may seem too flamboyant and straight out ridiculous, but to someone with a taste in fashion, it can be much more. Younger people seem to be attracted to strange things, as it usually angers and confuses the older generation, such as a man coming out of a horse, or cars turning his hand into a squirrel. At first the story sounds simple, and it is simple, although at the beginning it focuses more on a character called Dio, which then makes you question, why is this not called Dio's Bizarre Adventure? Here in part 1, there is a legend about a mask of the Joestar family, like some kind of curse, as well as main character Jonathan Joestar's encounter with his adoptive brother Dio. To understand JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, you should definitely read the manga. I don't read a lot of mangas, with the last manga I read being Gundam Thunderbolt years ago. Just look at this panel from the manga of Speedwagon and his crew arriving at the hospital. It's full of detail and shows what makes JoJo so great. This is only one beautiful panel from the manga of many. Hirohiko Araki draws inspiration from Western art with works of several artists, colors, and styles being obvious from my research. He also drew inspiration from Fist of the North Star and DC Comics. The realism of the first few episodes goes out the window when horrifying vampires are introduced. Yet the story never diminishes, it only adds an extra treat to an already good story. When characters are introduced in the manga, it feels very special. Although Dio changes in the story, his intentions are never hidden in the story. Finally, after the introduction of some story elements, JoJo grows when after one epic showdown, a fighter known as Seppali arrives. Seppali introduction is important for many reasons, but one reason is to help JoJo grow as a character. He, like many grandmasters in other anime, guide our main character, JoJo, with the introduction of some cool abilities. Jonathan's character felt more real in the manga and rushed in the anime. But again, 47 chapters in 10 episodes was not done justice. Then again, you can enjoy both stories just a little more in the manga. The character of Jonathan Joestar in episode 1 came off as a rich kid trying to be a gentleman, aka a wannabe hero, when he came to the rescue of a young lady from bullies, then getting a beatdown, followed by him saying he only came to rescue her because he wants to be a gentleman, or that's what gentlemen do, and he didn't actually care about her. In the first few episodes, he's like every other dumb rich kid, yet as the story progresses, he becomes more mature. Then the famous Dio Brando steals the show. In the first few episodes, he is the son of a poor alcoholic man who has arrived to the Joestar family as the new adoptive son with some dark intentions. Irina Pendleton, a gorgeous young lady, is saved by JoJo. She is a very beautiful and reminds me of those 1960 actresses. George Joestar, the rich father of Jonathan, who made his fortune in the trading business, he was able to purchase a luxury home. Yet the man is too trusting of people. This can be a good thing, but it can usually be a disaster. Then the famous Speedwagon, a thug from London on Ogre Street and a fan favorite, but he's almost useless in the anime. JoJo has many other great characters like Seppali and Jack the Ripper playing their part in the bizarre world. The art and animation, like I said, Hirohiko Araki drew inspiration from Western art like Paul Gauguin and even fashion. Araki himself learned to draw from his father's art books from the 70s. The art style is very unique, with Jotaro Kujo appearance being inspired by Clint Eastwood and characters' muscles inspired by people like Schwarzenegger and Stallone, and a bit of DC Comics. Some characters have this anime and cartoonish style. I'm not just talking about their appearances, but also their wardrobe. As Araki was a fan of fashion, some characters in part 1 look pretty average in their outfits. Now, why do I say this? It's because in later series, the fashion gets a little crazy, as in flamboyant and very out there. Some cool poses and some strange ones, and the fashion poses simply add to the amazing animation. The background colors will change to green, purple, and orange, as it's a reminder of Araki's influence. The opening song and ending have Easter eggs of fashion and art. According to MTV Japan, in 2017, to commemorate the 30th anniversary of the anime, Araki was asked to put together a playlist of his favorite rock songs from the 80s. The list included Welcome to the Jungle, Money for Nothing, California Girls, and Thriller by Michael Jackson. Hirohiko Araki has tons of tributes and homages of his favorite music artist in the anime. Like many fans believe, his music taste is impeccable. The opening song, Chino Madame, is a very eye-catching theme. Not only because the music is cool, but because the style and the art is memorable. Comic book panels and 3D models of JoJo and Dio gorgeous. Everything about the opening really captures the world of JoJo, or at least in part 1. The ending song Roundabout was surprising, and we really don't see a lot of English opening songs or endings. The memes that follow were simply a bonus. I'm not big into shonen as I was when I was a teenager, except for maybe a few gems, but I can always appreciate a good story. Phantom Blood is simply part of a bigger story, and if part 1 is this good, I wonder how good the rest is. The character art is sometimes strange, and the story of muscle guys is nothing new, and yes, vampires have been overdone. Yet there is something about the story and style, the art, the delivery that sets it apart from other shows. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is just something special because it combines different pieces of Araki's hobbies and imagination in one bizarre adventure. Throughout the years, the JoJo continues, and what I have seen of part 2, there seems to be some kind of curse. The story of Phantom Blood is a bit rough, not too deep. Many more adventures with the Joestar family bloodline, of them riding it globally. Heck, I wouldn't be surprised if one day we see JoJo in space. Part 1 has the ending I have always wanted to see in many shonen series. Not this continuation of Boruto stuff, but a true ending to a legacy of a hero. So how was the anime better? Well, we got one banger of an opening.